Namaskar, Khambangani people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Amrita, and today we're going to continue with the previous lesson, that is the fundamental unit of life. In that, we were discussing cell organelles. So far, in that, we have discussed the nucleus. Yesterday, we discussed about endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. So now, we will continue with the next organelle, and the next organelle is lysosomes. So let's continue with that. Lysosomes. Okay. Before we continue with lysosomes, let's make a cell structure. So this is your cell. This is your nucleus, which is double membrane and porous in nature. Okay. Now, talking about lysosomes. So lysosomes are actually these ones. Okay. And one more thing I would like to draw over here is this is your endoplasmic reticulum that we have made, and this is your Golgi. Okay. Alright. Now, talking about lysosomes. So these are the lysosomes. So what produces lysosome? Actually, Golgi apparatus produces lysosomes. Okay. These lysosomes are again the membrane bound organelle, and they have a covering around it. Okay, they are filled with a digestive enzyme. They are membrane bound organelles or membrane bound sacs. You can call them SACX, membrane bound sacs they are, and they are filled with digestive enzymes. These digestive enzymes which are present inside the lysosomes are actually being made by rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so here endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum as well as Golgi play a crucial role in the synthesis of lysosome and its enzymes. So far we have discussed that what is lysosome? It is being made by, synthesized by Golgi. Okay, we have discussed Golgi in the last class, so you can go to the previous video, you can check that out in that one. Okay, synthesized by Golgi. Next, they are membrane bound sacs. Okay, filled with digestive enzymes. Now, who produces this digestive enzyme? Definitely, it is being produced by digestive enzymes produced by who? By rough endoplasmic reticulum, RER. We have discussed this thing in the previous class, like in yesterday's video. You can check that one out. That rough endoplasmic reticulum is also being termed as RER. Okay, now this is what we have studied so far. So I just named this one. This is your lysosome. Okay, this is your Golgi. Alright, and this is your, I'm just writing RER over here because it contains ribosomes present on it. So it is your RER. Okay, fine. Now, why these lysosomes are so important? Like as I told you that these lysosomes are filled with digestive enzymes. So what it does, it actually digests all the waste material which is present inside the cell. See, cell also functions, it also gets food, that is the glucose. So when the glucose is being used, it actually produces a certain waste material. Okay, now where that waste material will go? Okay, a cell doesn't have a stomach which can digest it or we can excrete it out. So what happens? Those waste material or any food particle which is being there, or you can say any damaged cell organelle, might be bacteria, might be there, and even old cell organelles. All this waste material that I am talking about, whether it's a food particles, any bacteria, worn out cell organelles or old cell organelles, all these things are being digested by the lysosomes. So lysosomes, what it does, it takes them up and it digests them. Okay, so why lysosomes is so important? Digest what? Waste material, like what? Food particles, like food, What else? Old cell organelles. Okay, and bacteria. Okay, now, so it basically, it's like a cleaning mechanism. It's like it cleans everything. It takes up everything and it cleans everything. But a very important role of lysosome here over here that comes up is that in case, suppose any injury has taken place, okay, it's like you might got hit with something, or there was maybe a cut or something like that. In that case, what happens? The area of that, the area of that part where the damage has been done, what happens? Lysosomes. As soon as lysosomes realizes that the cell has been damaged, so what it will do, it will release the digestive enzymes. I'm just releasing certain digestive enzymes like this. It will release the digestive enzymes, and these digestive enzymes will actually eat up its own cell organelles, and in this way the cell dies. Okay, so what is another function, you can say, of cell organelle of the lysosome is that it eats up its own cell organelles in case there is a eats its own cell organelles in case cell is damaged, okay, by releasing what? Digestive enzymes. Okay, fine. Okay, now, because of this reason, because of this property of lysosomes, like because it is releasing its own, because it's releasing the digestive enzymes which are actually going up and eating up the all of the cell organelles which are like nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria. Okay, might be chloroplast in the case of plants. Okay, anything, any cell organelle which has been there, in case the cell gets damaged, it will be gonna eat up completely by the lysosomes. And because this lysosome is eating its own cell organelles, okay, due to this property of lysosome, it is being also termed as, okay, due to this property, due to this property of lysosome, like eating up its own cell organelles, it is also known as suicide bag of your cell. Okay, it is also termed as suicide bag because it releases enzymes and it kills its own cell organelles. So that is why it is being termed as suicide bag. Okay, so this is all about the lysosomes. All right, the next cell organelle that we are going to discuss is the mitochondria. Okay, what is mitochondria? Why mitochondria is so important? What one thing is being there which is present in the mitochondria that makes it different from all the other cell organelles and give it a special feature. Only in animal cells I'm talking about, not in plant cells. Okay, so let's make up we'll use another pen and we'll make the mitochondria. So this is your mitochondria, and okay, so this is your mitochondria. Okay, this is your mitochondria. Fine. Now we'll discuss the mitochondria. Okay. Next is mitochondria. So what is mitochondria? Why mitochondria is so important? As I told you that mitochondria is so important because it is being termed as the powerhouse of the cell. Okay. So mitochondria is what? Powerhouse of the cell. Okay, it is being termed as powerhouse of the cell. Why it is being termed as powerhouse of the cell? Because each and every activity that cell performs, it requires amount of energy. Okay, like suppose even if we need to do something, we need energy. Okay, and from where does we get that energy? from while eating food. Okay, by eating food we get that energy, and the food that digested, that's a whole different process. We'll not discuss it over here. But just to understand that even we need energy to perform our daily activities, in the same way, because the cell is a part of our body and they have to perform certain functions, so even they require the energy. Okay, this mitochondria produces energy in the form of ATP. So energy is produced in the form of ATP. What is the full form of ATP? Many of you might know it. Adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so that is the full form of ATP. So energy is produced by the mitochondria in the form of ATP, which is being called as adenosine triphosphate. Now, talking about the structure of mitochondria, if you just look at it, it has two layers. It is actually double layered, just like the nucleus. Okay, if you just see, look at this structure. This is the outer one. So if I just, and this outer structure is actually porous in nature. The outer layer of the mitochondria is porous in nature, like this. Okay, so it is porous in nature. Whereas the inner layer, if you just look at the inner layer, this inner layer is actually kind of like this. This is the inner layer of mitochondria. Okay, it has many projections just like our fingers, so it goes like this. Okay, so what does the mitochondria have? It is a double layered. It is double layered. Okay, double layered membrane it has. Outer membrane, porous. What about inner membrane? Inner membrane, folded. Inner membrane is folded in nature. Okay, it is folded like this. Now, what is the use of this folded membrane? Okay, see, the basic use of this folded membrane, the inner folded membrane of mitochondria, is to provide a large surface area so that many of the new chemical activities or maybe mechanical activities can take place, and more of the energy can be, ATP can be used in those things. Okay, so the use of the folded membrane is to have a larger surface area so that the ATP can be used for the cellular functions, okay, or for the new biochemical functions. All right, okay, now just write that thing up. Okay, so folded membrane, what is the use of folded membrane? Generates or creates, you can say, create larger surface area. Larger surface area. Okay, because see, there is a more surface area in this one. Even each and every part of this can be used. Instead of using the straight one, this one, okay, this one has a larger surface area. Okay, so it provides a larger surface area for ATP using biochemical activities, actually. Biochemical activities. Okay, this is the main feature of the folded membrane, that it is being used in the generation of the ATP. Okay, now coming to the next point. What is the next point? What other things that ATP, mitochondria can do? See, mitochondria, this ATP, what we call it ATP, this ATP is called as, because of this special feature, called as what? Energy currency. Energy currency of cell. Okay, ATP is being considered to as energy currency of the cell. Okay, now there is one very special feature of mitochondria that only mitochondria as a cell organelle has in animal cells, but not the other cell organelles have. Like if you just talk about lysosomes, ribosomes, ER, or Golgi. Okay, so all these organelles lack one very special quality that mitochondria has, that mitochondria has its own DNA and ribosomes. Okay, ribosomes. Not all the other organelles have except nucleus. Only mitochondria has its own DNA and ribosomes. Okay, because it has its own DNA and ribosomes, can synthesize its own what? Protein. We have discussed this thing in the last class in the previous video, that this sign is being given for the protein that we use it. Okay, so far we have discussed the lysosomes, which are the societal bags of the plant. Okay, of the cell, which eats up everything and also clears the cell environment. Mitochondria, energy generating machinery of the cell. ATP is the one being called as powerhouse of the cell. ATP is the energy currency. Has folded membrane. It has double layered membrane, just like nucleus. Outer one is porous, inner one is folded one. The folded one provides a larger surface area for the biochemical activities to perform. Okay, and for the even for the new biochemical or the mechanical work to be performed, you need the energy. Okay, so the ATP is being used everywhere to perform the biochemical activity as well as to perform the mechanical work of the cell. Okay, ATP, because it is being used so widely, so it is being called as energy currency of the cell. ATP is not only used by the mitochondria only, but it is also being used by the whole cell. Okay, wherever there is a requirement that energy is being required, even if to synthesize the protein or for the packaging system, or even of the release of the mRNA transcript from the nucleus into the cytoplasm, transcription takes place, translation takes place. For each and everything, even for the duplication of the DNA, okay, all these things require the energy. Okay, so all it is being produced by the mitochondria and distributed all over the cell. Okay, a very special feature that only mitochondria has, that it has its own DNA and ribosomes, and due to this property they can easily synthesize their own proteins. Okay, as we have discussed in the last class, ribosome plays a very huge role in synthesizing the proteins. Okay, now what about the, like, all these organelles that we have discussed so far, except the cell wall, that is the plasma membrane, the cytoplasm, your nucleus, and endoplasmic reticulum. What else that we discussed is the Golgi apparatus. We discussed ribosomes a bit, mitochondria. Okay, all these organelles are common in between the plant cell and the animal cell, except the cell wall, because only plant cell have the cell wall, and few bacteria have the cell wall. Okay, bacteria have cell wall and plants have cell wall. Now there is another cell organelle which is present only in plant cell. That organelle is being called as plastids. Okay, now I just got this diagram a bit. I just do one thing. I just use this one. So I'm just making out here. Okay, this is your chloroplast. This is your chloroplast. Okay, or the plastid that we were talking about. How this chloroplast is similar to plastid, we'll discuss it now. Okay, so what the plastid has, only present in plant cells. Okay, again, membrane bound organelle, Okay, it is also a double layered one. It is also double layered. Alright, just like mitochondria. So the structure of chloroplast is approximately similar to the mitochondria. Okay, now what else? See, the plastids are being divided into two types. So two types of plastids are being there. We'll just look at over here. First is chromoplast and second is leucoplast. Okay, chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromoplast are colored plastids. Okay, while leucoplast are colorless plastids. Okay, so there are two types of plastids are there, chloroplast and chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromoplast are colored plastids, whereas leucoplast are colorless plastids. Okay, now as I told you that chloroplast are being involved. You might have heard about the term chloroplast, and it is being very famous for the presence of chlorophyll onto it. Okay, but so what happens is that, okay, now that plastid which contains chlorophyll is being termed as chloroplast. So what is a chloroplast? Plastid containing chlorophyll is what? Chloroplast. It is same. Okay, these are the plastids only, but because they are filled with chlorophyll, so they are being called as chloroplast. Why chloroplast is so important? Because or why chlorophyll is so important? See, because as we know that chloroplast contains chlorophyll. Okay, and this chlorophyll is being very much important in photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? It is like generation of food by the plant. It's a whole process of generation of food by the plant, or synthesizing of food by the plant. Okay, so it has importance over there. Alright, other than that, when we talk about this, what about leucoplast? So, when we talk about leucoplast, so what is the role of leucoplast in plants? Like, will they not do anything? No, they definitely do things. Like, they actually store. What they store? They store starch, which is a complex sugar. Okay, they store oil of the plant, and they also store protein granules. Okay, so they contain all these things. Other than that, the inner layer of the, as I told you that the structure of plastid is very similar to mitochondria. If you just look at the structures, they are very similar, and it has a folded inner membrane embedded in material called as what? Called as stroma. Okay, it is called as stroma, in which this whole plastid is being, this whole inner membrane is being there. Okay, now what about chloroplast? What is the other thing that the chloroplast does is, other than the containing the chlorophyll, which is a green pigment, chloroplast also contains yellow and orange pigment. Okay, so chloroplast exactly in structure wise exactly similar to mitochondria, divided into plastid is divided into two parts, chromoplast and leucoplast. What is the role of leucoplast? Stores starch, oil and protein granules, which is like a storehouse. You can say that leucoplast is a storehouse of the plant. Okay, plastids contain green pigment, which is called chlorophyll, and that is why it is being called as chloroplast. Okay, this chloroplast, the inner layer of the plastid or the chloroplast is actually being folded just like the mitochondria and embedded in a material which is called stroma. Okay, chloroplast, other than containing the green pigment, that is chlorophyll, it also contains two other pigments, that is the orange pigment and that is the yellow pigment. Okay, so that is all for today. We have discussed, like, we have almost covered each and every organelle. One more organelle is being left, that is vacuoles, and difference between the plant cell, animal cell, and eukaryotic and prokaryotic. We'll do it in the next class tomorrow. Okay, I hope you have liked today's lesson. And in case you have any questions, suggestions, or you have any doubts, you can drop them in the comment box below. And please do hit the bell icon for the more such updates, and do like, share, subscribe our channel. Thank you so much. Bye.